The Cape lasted only 10 episodes in one season. That's why I'm reviewing The Cape. This is probably the stupidest thing I've ever heard. This is the main premise of the show, and this show is 100% stupid. Makes no sense. It's not cool at all. It's just dumb. So this is 0 out of 10. This show is. That lasts about 10 episodes. So it's about this father is reading to this kid called The Cape, a comic. Anyway, one day he gets ambushed by a bunch of he's like on the run because he's trying not to get gunned down by cops because he got framed for something he didn't do. He's a good cop, and then he goes to live with these hobos in the sewer. They're also showsman people from carnivals that travel the world, and they live in the sewer. Well, not sewer, but I guess it says underground. They don't say sewer exactly, but he escaped through the sewer, so which is into underground place. So I'm sorry, but so he's tired of waiting and doing nothing. So he wants to clear his name, and here's how he's going to do it. He's going to clear his name by dressing up as a fictional comic book character called The Cape. And committing several murders to his criminals that might be in on it, and basically committing murder to all the people that are in on that framed him as The Cape. So it turns out he's now Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And the guy that saved him is the guy that is the mastermind behind everything. We find out in the final episode of episode 10. And he says he's doing this for his son to send a message to let him know he's still alive. And the guy that's the mastermind behind this thing, that guy that also saved him from being gunned down, that's the same guy. He says the only message, and I agree with him, the only message your kid's going to get that his own father has lost his goddamn mind. It's funny because it's true. And that's all he does is The Cape is lose his mind and kill people that as he follows the trail of breadcrumbs of cracking the case of who framed him. But also he decides to stalk his kid and then asks his kid to help on these dangerous missions. later. Well, all around being creepy and lecturing his kid. So, but that's in the late episodes when the kid actually helps him on the missions and does more good than harm, which is not like the father when he's just doing more harm than good. So, it's really that way. The kid's more competent than the grown ass man that's supposed to take on the superhero identity. I mean, the kid just helps him to track down the people with computers and stuff and everything. Track somewhere his like a location is and what he needs to do and everything. So the kids were the brains and the dads were the stupid bronze. And time just becomes in late episodes, but it's after the halfway point for the series over, which is about 10 episodes worth. The show is run. Is about 10 episodes only the only made ever in one season. The only made ever in one season. This got canceled in 2011 and it aired in 2011. So didn't have a good run for good reasons, but it gets better. Hilarious in a way. So the cape comes. Cape is the cape is his superhero name because that's what the comic book calls it. The cape that he reads to his kid before he got framed and is assumed dead legally because they couldn't find his body. The news couldn't. So anyway. He doesn't wear a mask when he sees his kid. And he doesn't hide in the shadows. He just wears his costume, which is just a fucking cape. Literally, a cape and black clothing tights, spandex. That's all it is. A cape and black spandex is what his costume is. So let me get so here's the thing. He always shows up on the kid's balcony to give him fatherly advice. That's the cape. And tells him, do not give up hope because one day you will see your father again. And that's how every fucking episode ends of all 10 out of all the episodes. That's how all of them end, like. And he doesn't even hide in the shadows at all when he sees the sun. He's in clear, well-lit lighting at nighttime. So, a good chunk of series like the kid's an idiot. I think I point out the obvious when it comes to this stuff. Like, and he doesn't even disguise his voice or anything. He just uses his natural voice. Maybe in the first episode, I think he might have made his voice a little. He sounded a little. I think maybe like in the first episode, if I remember correctly, his first episode, he disguised his voice a little, but not that much. I mean, he just made it sound scruffier and deeper, and more overly serious than it needs to be. And if I remember correctly, in episode 10, the kid points out the obvious to his dad and confronts him about being the Cape. So if I remember correctly, or does he? Yeah, so I think in sometime in episode 10 or in the episode or later in the series, he reveals his identity after the kid figures it out. By looking at him, I guess it's, it's kind of. I hope I didn't fucking made that scene up in my head by accident. By remembering that wrong. I'm sorry, but I remember the rest of it. But there's some kind of fake on. And uncertain if this happened or not. About the kid and the father knowing that he's the Cape. I'm not really sure on that. And honestly, I didn't bother to rewatch the show. I just try remembering the best I can from it because it's just such a stupid show. It's stupid. It's really stupid. Something tells me even if he ever did clear his name if the series continued, something tells me he would get arrested for a long time just for committing murder to people. And also to some cops. And, murder too. I'm just saying, it's just... Okay, so the Cape is an interesting premise. A man, traumatized, but decides to become something else. Let me just check when Arrow, if I can remember when this is serious. So this kind of reminds me of I'm pretty sure this came out before Arrow did, which is actually a good show. Arrow. So in a way, without the Cape, we wouldn't have stuff like Arrow. A show I actually like. Especially the first 3 seasons. After the first 3 seasons, the show kind of went downhill for me. For most people, to the first 2 seasons, for most people, after the first 2 seasons, it went downhill for other people. But for me, it's really season 3 after season 3 when it went downhill because I felt like season 3 was did such a great conclusion to all of the story. It didn't really need to continue after season 3. They should have just ended there, I think. But, yeah, but we can do it, It lasted longer. At least, it was still fun to watch, And engaging enough and good. Was as good as the first 3, no, season 4 was season 1 as good as the first 3 seasons to me. Which were, I think, only the first 5 seasons, not season 6 and 7 to 8. Those I haven't seen yet, but only the 5 seasons I've seen so far. I think it was only 4 of them. I think it's only 5 seasons. I think. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. I'm falling off topic again. So anyway, the good news is, probably without the Cape, a crappy show like Cape was an interesting premise and an interesting tone in terms of taking really serious itself really seriously, but without any dark mature themes like Arrow. Although Arrow takes this as seriously as the show, this is seriously, but it actually has very mature content. At least in the first 3 seasons, and it tells interesting, complex stories. And not as much in the later seasons. I would have to say, just watch Arrow. It's a good show. And forget about the Cape. I don't even forget what I gave this rating of. Oh yeah, I gave it a 0 out of 10. So, good news is the case of bad show. Good news is also a kind of not remembered by many people show. I wish you could say it was one of those shows that it's a hidden gem that been forgotten by many, like some other shows, you know. But it's, like, that I'm aware of that it's like yeah, or like a movie, you know. It's like you know, like it's not really forgotten gems. This craft is, I mean, I will say it's like, it's fascinating how it takes itself seriously, how much it takes itself seriously, because it's amazing. Like, it takes itself serious with, like, Arrow, but it's fucking laughable, unlike Arrow, when it takes itself seriously. Which is all the time. Kind of like how all the times the first season of Arrow took itself completely seriously, and also second season and the third season. Not as much in the fourth season, but you know, that's because the fourth season wasn't as like it wasn't complex like the first 3 seasons, so it didn't turn into a joke, but it just, it's one of those series like kind of old David's Welcome Arrow did once it got to season 4. Anyway, I'm talking about I'm getting dragging this on the topic. So yeah, I mean, I still like season 5, so I just say just watch the whole series of Arrow, you know. I mean, it's basically what the Cape was trying to do, I feel like, and actually didn't suck at it, you know. So yeah, don't watch the Cape, watch Arrow, the show.